Are you a South African musician trying to figure out how to get your music onto TV? Welcome to this episode where I plan on sharing 5 tips on that topic. Now, just to be clear, about 2 or 3 years ago, I decided to put less emphasis on leasing beats and focus more on getting music onto TV. There's a reason for this. You can watch this video that explains it, but I am just going to share 5 tips that I use in order to transition and get my music onto TV. So the very first one, I had to find a reliable publisher or music library. I spoke around with my friends, highlight my homie Silas Beats, and he recommended a few of them, and I eventually contacted one. There's also another way where you go onto Capasso's website, you look at the rate card, and then right at the bottom of the rate card you will find other music publishers. There's about 12 or so in there, so spend time looking at all of those to see which one matches your music and which one you think is reliable. So the next question is probably, how do you know if it's reliable? There are several ways to check this. Ideally, if they have a website, which most should by now, you can go and see which songs are in there and then try and track it within the SAMRO portal to see if that specific genre is generating royalties. This is a fairly lengthy process, so I'm not going to do it in this video. If you think I should do that, just holler in the comments below and maybe I will do a detailed video showing you how to check if a music publisher is reliable. The very next thing that I did is I actually spent time watching TV and listening to what genres are being played, and then with the reliable publishers that I have chosen, I checked if I can make the genre or if my genre fits in. Traditionally, I'm mainly a hip-hop producer, but I found that hip-hop is not played as much for the libraries that I thought were reliable, so I ended up making piano just to try tailor for that type of market. So I probably make more of the South African urban genres now than I did before, but it's been a great experience to learn a new genre. But with that said, it does not mean hip-hop does not get placed. You just have to try fit in what that type of music library does tailor to, and then you adapt the genre to match their clients. You have to remember that if you're making music for TV, there's an end client at the end, so you don't want to be making really depressing music either. You want to make music that kind of cheers people up, or what is currently the in sound and what is playing on radio every day. You want to watch multiple TV shows, and then right at the end when the credits start scrolling up, there's usually music production by or something along those lines. You want to circle and highlight in your head the name of that production library. Hopefully it's not a single person. If it's a company, then you know from that company you can contact them and see if you can match what they are looking for. Ideally, once you've found the production library, you want to find a track that has been generating a lot of royalties from SAMRO. That's the easiest one to check. So you can use, let's say you do hip hop, you find a hip hop album within that music publisher, check a few of those releases to see which one makes a lot of royalties from the SAMRO portal, and then you use that one as some kind of a reference track. This is some kind of research because now you are tailoring your product to something that you know they are already placing really well, and this is how the structure is. One thing you have to remember with production music, TV music, it's slightly different to lease beats. Lease beats you can get away with about 32 bars that are 100% the same, but with the production type of music, the ones that get placed a lot, if you do some research, are the ones that change more or less every 8 bars or every 12 bars. They keep on evolving and they're not a linear type of sound. So you want to spend time researching which kind of songs, which kind of tracks get picked up by that specific library. And then once you've done your detailed research, you spend time on the music library, you understand what they are, what type of music they are after, and how they meet their customers. Then you want to submit. There's usually a contact or an info type of place within that library. So you contact them, but you want to make sure that you've got about 10 to 12 tracks in a very specific genre that you can tailor in. So it's not an overnight thing where you just go to your beat catalog and say, yo, I've got some hip hop beats. You want to say, I have got about 10 to 12 tracks or more of the specific kind of genre, and you think they will work well because you heard the name of this song in one of the adverts, and you try to make it seem like there is effort. You send them a link or however they want to get sent. Another thing I'd like to highlight is that there are several music libraries all over the world, so this kind of information does not only apply to South Africa. If you know you make hip hop, you probably are most likely better off sending it overseas to other music libraries that get your music onto TV. There are also several ways to get your music on there. You don't necessarily need a music library, but I opted for this way because I wanted to learn more or less what is working, what does not work, and you get some kind of feedback from the music library on the music that you've submitted, and then you know if you're on the right track or not. But if you want to see how many TV plays you need to make 1,000 Rand, watch this video.